What's going on, guys? My name is Steve. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Today we're going to be reacting to the Cambridge American Cemetery and Memorial. This video was actually recommended to me by a subscriber, and it turns out that this is the only World War II American military cemetery in the UK. So I've never heard of this place, but I'm super excited to check it out. So let's just go ahead and dive in and learn about the Cambridge American Cemetery and Memorial.
The American Battle Monuments Commission exists to honor the service of American military personnel during the two wars.
Those men of the United States Army Air Force who from these friendly isles flew.
Traditionally, we maintain the venue, but now, as we look forward into the future, we see that we've got an added responsibility to tell the story of what happened to a new generation and to make that relevant to them. When we first created these sites, the focus was simply maintaining the venue for the Gold Star mothers. You really didn't need to tell them the story. They'd lived through it. They'd had a very personal connection with it. So our focus was maintaining the cemetery for them to come and grieve. Now, 75 years later, those ladies are long gone. And most of the people alive today have no memory of the war and have no interaction with anyone who does. So our role becomes to tell the story in a manner that's relevant to them today. And the way the agency's chosen to do that is to use the vehicle of the powerful biographies we have to make that human connection between a new audience of young people and the stories of courage and sacrifice that this cemetery has so many of. As early as the spring of 1942, we had the Army Air Corps arriving in this area in great numbers, and we had operations rather early in 42 into Europe. We had casualties, and we obviously needed somewhere to bury our dead. Cambridge University gave us the 30-acre parcel of land here in the centre of Cambridge.
Oh, wow.
And on the 7th of December 1943, which was a date chosen 2 years to the day after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, we buried for the first time here, and then we buried throughout the war. At the end of the war, this site was chosen as the permanent cemetery in the UK to house all those whose bodies were remaining from the conflict in the Second World War.
Wow, man.
To see what these men were thrown into at such a young age, it was humbling, and seeing how they responded to that. Some of the more powerful experiences for me have been hearing the stories.
A lot of them were like 17 years old, 18 years old, man.
Who were thrown into absolutely appalling situations and responded with courage that really was humbling to hear about. One of the more powerful experiences I've had here in the last few months was a visit of a 95-year-old veteran who came back with his daughter on perhaps a last visit to Madingley. And his daughter gave this to him as his 95th birthday present. And he came here and he explained that the last time he'd come to Madingley was to bring a crew to be buried. And he told me the powerful story of his connection to that crew. Now, this man had been a gunner, a teenage gunner, who'd been injured on a previous flight, so he was off air status. So he was not on flying duty. And while he was off flying duty, the Army Air Corps gave him driver assignments. And on one particular day, his job was to pick up a B-17 crew, take him to eat. They ate breakfast. They wanted to stop by the chapel on the way to the aircraft. And he said when they arrived at the aircraft, they all huddled. They put their arms around each other and they took a moment of silence together. And he said that was a powerful moment. And then they went off on their flight. I think it was a mission into a target into Germany. And they were damaged on the flight. They received some flak damage. And on landing, they crashed. And although they arrived back at the airfield, they crashed and they were all killed. And his last duty of that particular day was to pick the bodies up, bag them up, and drive them to Madingley American Cemetery. And that was the last time he was here. He came with his notebook with these 10 names that he jotted down 75 years ago and came back to visit those men. And 9 of them had been repatriated, but the 10th was still here. And it was a powerful moment to be standing with him over the grave of that one remaining soldier.
Wow.
And have him tell me the story of his personal connection. And it's experiences like that, for me, that are the most powerful as superintendent here. In particular in the UK, our role is to reinforce and advance what Churchill referred to as a special relationship between the British and the Americans. And certainly nothing speaks more powerfully of that special relationship than does the 10,000 souls
Wow.
that are commemorated here in Madingley.
Wow. Yeah, I really appreciate that. This is beautiful, man. I never even knew this existed. I'd like to learn a little bit more about this. I'd like to hear some more stories about this place. Definitely like to visit this place when I visit the UK. I mean, it's near Cambridge, so that's definitely an area I should be in. You know, at one point when I visit the UK, it's definitely an area I want to go to anyway. So shouldn't be a big step to go and visit this place. But wow, this video was really moving to me. I didn't know it would be this moving to me. I caught myself having to hold back tears a little bit. I don't know. It's just something about, there really is something about the connection between, you know, the British people and the American people. You know, it's just allies like no other, you know, and it is something that I think he's right, that newer generations, you know, need to be taught these things. And I'm glad that there are people that are working to, you know, keep these memories alive, so to speak. But yeah, guys, this was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This is a beautiful plot, this beautiful cemetery as well. I mean, it's just, where's, yeah. No, actually, there was a better picture of that. Where is it at? So it looks like you can go in here and there's all sorts of stories and stuff. I definitely would love to go in here and read some of these stories. Where's, man, it really is a beautiful piece of land right here. Beautiful cemetery. I love cemeteries anyway. You know, I haven't done a cemetery reaction in a while, but I absolutely love cemeteries. And obviously this one is, has a lot of extra meaning to me, has a special meaning to me, you know, as an American, you know, but I just love cemeteries, and this is just, yeah. What can I say, man? It's beautiful. Wow. Yeah, this looks like a really peaceful place. I was just trying to get a little bit of a good look at this place, and wow, dude. This is amazing, man. Wow. That's all making me lie down in green pastures. Into thy hands, O Lord. Wow. 10,000, man. That's so crazy. It really is. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow me on my journey to discover my British and Irish ancestry. If you have any things you'd like to share about this cemetery, or perhaps the World War II, or anything along those lines, or maybe, yeah, just anything about that, I appreciate hearing them in the comments. Yeah, guys, thank you so much. Until next time, peace.